Oh, they just found out about the thing. They don't listen to us.
Yeah, they weren't listening. They're drinking too much now, but they did see that Dylan Fairchild goes, all right, rate him, Joe.
He was 135th on the consensus board heading into this weekend. The Bengals taking him at 81. So, again, I don't think they look at those things. So we'll just keep it moving. The 22-year-old out of Georgia, 6'5", 318, 33-inch arms, 81-inch wingspan. He's a guard all the way. He did not test before the draft. So we don't have his athletic measurables. He looks like an athlete on tape, but again, as Dave and I were talking as we started this thing, he's a wrestler, super strong, really cut up. Reminds me of a Wyatt Teller, who was with the Browns for a while there, under Callahan. His pass block grading, though, if you look at PFF, his pass block grading puts him in the 97th percentile amongst all interior offensive linemen in true pass sets, meaning take away all the screens and everything, just third down, 3rd and 8. How do you pass protect? Puts him in the 92nd percentile.
Joe, when you talk about numbers, you talk about 81-inch wingspan and 97% success rate as a protector.
Yep.
I think those correlate.
Oh, I think so.
When you got the Inspector Gadget arms, and you can lock guys out and keep them away from you, you're going to win a lot of pass protection snaps and reps. There's no doubt.
And is it fair to say, because I threw this out before, do you like kids from Georgia? Do you like the SEC? Does it matter that you got a guy that's gone against this competition and rated that well?
Yeah, I think so. And this goes back to high school, too. He was a high-level recruit that was an All-American. Also comes from a really strong wrestling background, high school wrestler. You like those guys. Played left tackle in high school, so he's got some experience there. But as you said, playing in the interior. But I do think you like guys. We've seen how many SEC defensive linemen have we seen drafted so far? So we know he's battle tested.
Yep.
And I like the pick.
The point that Joe made about he's good. He likes to wrestle, so he likes to have close quarters with players. He likes players to try to let them get in on inside with them a little bit, and you're not going to beat me because I know I'm going to get you a little bit off balance. And that's the thing. Crumry was a state wrestling champion in high school, and he was, an unbelievable wrestler, All-American at Wisconsin. You could not get that dude off his feet. You couldn't get him on the ground. I mean, Crumry was his balance was inhuman. I think wrestlers, like you say, it's a double-edged sword there, Joe, because they like to grapple and get guys inside. But man, to get those dudes off their feet, if they're really a high-level wrestler, the balance that they have, the innate ability to stay on their feet is big time.
Yeah, and you know what it is when I see wrestlers and offensive line, D-line coach, especially in the inside, love those wrestlers. But what you see is that midsection, that strength, that core strength, where they can flip those hips and get those guys out of there, no problem. It's almost second nature to them. When they get, guy will get into him, he's retreating a little bit. Next thing you know, it's wham, and he gets him out of there and he drives him to the left or the right. I'm like, yeah, that's wrestling right there.
You know what, too? You can't be a good wrestler without some flexibility. You cannot do it because people are bending you. People are pulling your limbs. You have to get underneath people. You have to be flexible to be a high-level wrestler, and you can tell that in some of these interior guys.
Good point. And, you talk about the hips. Crumry, he shatters both legs. He shatters both bones in the leg.
I'm walking right behind you. All right. Just don't mind me.
The tibia and fibula. And, he comes back. And how could he play again? Because, like you talked about his hips, I'm telling you, this guy, when he would hunker down and anchor, you could not get him on the ground. I mean, it was like he was an immovable object. It was like he basically dug into the turf, It's like, dude, the hell, man?
Kevin Winston.
One pick later. The Bengals had Winston pretty high in consideration at 49. So for them to get to 81 and he's still on the board, he's coming off an injury. I wonder if they thought, you know what, he's still falling. We'll let him go. We'll attack a need and go with a guard here in Fairchild. But, as a draft guy, I question that process a little bit.
You think they'll come back with a safety here pretty quick?
Xavier Watts is still there from Notre Dame. Al Golden's got to be Al Golden's probably pounding the table already.
I think
and the offensive coaches are like, listen, we need a guard. We're not doing it.
Yeah, you've already got two.
You've got two.
You give us one.
Relax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a diehard Bengals fan craving more than just highlights? Dive deep into the heart of the team with Dave Lapham's In the Trenches, presented by First Star Logistics. Join Bengals icon Dave Lapham, a 10-year NFL veteran and the team's color analyst since 1986, as he delivers unparalleled Bengals analysis. In the Trenches features exclusive interviews with current players and coaches, giving you an inside look at game strategy, team dynamics, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't find anywhere else. Plus, Dave brings in top NFL experts like Chris Sims, Charles Davis, Solomon Wilcots, and Chris Collinsworth to break down the biggest plays and predict the future of the Bengals and the AFC North. Get the edge every week. Subscribe to Dave Lapham's In the Trenches on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts today.